The last supermoon of 2025 will occur on December 4th or December 5th, depending on where you are on Earth, depending on your time zone. So I decided to make this video to help you plan a photo of the supermoon aligned with an interesting subject you like. So go to PhotoPills, tap on Planner, and this time I won't be planning the supermoon in Menorca. Let's go to Paris. Tap on the load button here. Let's plan something with the Eiffel Tower, the supermoon and the Eiffel Tower. Why not? So I'm gonna type here Eiffel Tower, and the red pin is placed right where the Eiffel Tower is. Pretty cool. We are in Paris. Next step is to set the supermoon date. So double tap on the time bar and then tap on the picture of the moon on panel number 4. So tap once, twice, and now here we have the supermoon because we have this yellow circumference going around the moon phase on the top panel. And the supermoon in Paris will be on December 5th, 2025. Nice. And now, as always, I'll try to find the shooting spot and shooting time where I can align the supermoon with the Eiffel Tower. And I'm gonna be looking for the spot based on the moonset and moonrise directions. In this case, I think I'm gonna try to find something for the super moonrise because based on the moonrise direction, I know I can go to the other side of the Sena River and try to align the moon with the Eiffel Tower. But first, I'll zoom on the Eiffel Tower and I'll go to panel number 2, the black pin panel, tap on the button on the panel, and let's place the black pin right where I want the moon to be. For example, right here, you know, right in the middle of the Eiffel Tower. Very, very nice. Now, based on the moonrise direction, let's try to find our initial shooting spot. So I'll try to find the shooting spot that's far away from the Eiffel Tower to have a really large moon, and I'm gonna keep, you know, my shooting spot close to, you know, by the Seine, the river, just, you know, to have or make sure that I have a clear view of the Eiffel Tower through the river. And then when the supermoon rises here, the moon goes right above the where the black pin is, where the Eiffel Tower is, which is, it seems that I can align, you know, the supermoon with the Eiffel Tower from this shooting spot here next to the the Seine River. But let's check the view from this spot using Google Street Maps. And yes, Google Street View confirms that I have this beautiful view of the Eiffel Tower. I also see the replicate of the Statue of Liberty next to it, which it's gonna be amazing to include in the shot too. And I think it will be amazing to have the supermoon inside the Eiffel Tower just above the first floor. The height of the first floor is 57 and 63 meters, and the height of the second floor is 115.73 meters. So having the center of the moon around 84 meters would be pretty cool, I think. So do a long press on the time bar to move time more precisely, and then based on the moon height on the top panel, see the top panel above the map, it's telling me the shooting distance 1.8 kilometers, and the moon height is the height of the center of the moon above the terrain level where the black pin is. I'm gonna move the time backwards until it says more or less like 80 meters. Pretty cool. And this happens at 5:52 p.m. Well, now when I have the height I want, the moon is not aligned with the black pin, so I'll need to change a bit my shooting spot to find my final shooting spot. So let's say something like this, for example. Very nice. And now I'll just maybe move the moon a bit higher, change again the time until the moon aligns at 87 meters, 86 meters, which is pretty cool, pretty cool. Only check the height of the center of the moon or the sun when aligned with the black pin on the top panel. Okay, I think I have my final shooting spot where the red pin is, but let's check what Google Street View shows us. And as you see, the view is pretty cool. I see perfectly the Eiffel Tower and the window, the floor, the first floor and the second floor, and the moon is gonna be between the two floors. And the cherry on the cake is that I have the Statue of Liberty perfectly aligned with the Eiffel Tower and the moon. Pretty cool. Okay, I have the moon where I want, but how big the moon is gonna be? Well, you have the moon size in brackets on the top panel. It's telling me 18 meters of moon size, which is pretty big. If you want to see the moon size on the map, just tap on the layers button, tap on the moon layer, and then tap on the show moon size here, make sure that is switched on. And now if I zoom on the blood pin and the line of the moon, I can see how big the moon will be compared to my subject. And as you see, the moon is going to be pretty big. These 18 meters are great for this composition. And I think it works very well because the window of the first floor is 29 meters more or less, and the window below the second floor is 16 meters. So imagine an 18-meter supermoon inside this window of the Eiffel Tower and aligned with the replica of the Statue of Liberty. What do you think? Do you like this shot? Let me know in the comments. Okay, my plan is almost ready. I have the shooting spot, the ready in position. The shooting date is on December 5th, 2025, and the shooting time around 5:23 p.m. But I need to do a few things more. The first one is to check the natural light I'll get at the time of the shooting. So I'll swipe the top panel to the left to panel number 3, and here if you check the elevation of the sun is minus 4.80 degrees, which is the beginning of the blue hour, so expect the moon to have a beautiful yellow color. And moreover, during the blue hour you can get in one single exposure, correctly expose both your foreground and the moon. Another thing I'm gonna check is the focal length I'm gonna use, and to figure out I'm gonna use the field of view calculator. So tap on the map settings button here, and then on the map tools tap on FOV for field of view, go back to the map, and now I'm gonna choose my camera, the Nikon Z6, perfect, it's full frame. I'm gonna leave a focal length of 50 millimeters to start with. I'm gonna be shooting in portrait, and I'm gonna be aligning the field of view with the blood pin, so I can zoom on the blood pin and I can clearly see that 50 millimeters is too much. I think it's too wide for me because I'm gonna capture a lot of stuff and the Eiffel Tower will look pretty small. So I'm gonna go to 100 millimeters in a focal length. That's better. Now I have a closer look and closer field of view on my subject and the moon, which is pretty cool, shooting in portrait. And let's check how high is the field of view. So tap on the last button here on the right, this one, to check the vertical field of view is 664.59 meters, which is pretty large. Remember that the Eiffel Tower is a bit more than 300 meters, so everything will fit in the frame. Nice. And now let's check the depth of field. Let's see if I'm focusing on the Eiffel Tower, if the moon will be in focus too. And to do it, I'm gonna use the depth of field map tool. So go back to the map settings button, tap on depth of field, DOF here on the map tools, go back to the map. And now if I'm focusing on, I'm using a focal length and aperture of f8, for example. Let's do f8. Let's focus distance. Let's focus at the blood pin on the Eiffel Tower. Perfect. And now the question is, if I'm focusing on my subject, the Eiffel Tower, to have the Eiffel Tower tack sharp, will the moon be in focus? And the answer is yes, because the hyperfocal distance, which is this icon of a tree, is only 41.84 meters. So you know that if you're focusing at something that's behind the hyperfocal distance, infinity will be also acceptably sharp. And because I'm focusing at the Eiffel Tower, the moon will be also acceptably sharp. Nice. Okay, and this is my plan, and I love reading the plans when I'm finished. I recommend you to do it too, because it's a great way to really understand the plan. So if on December 5th, 2025, around 5:23 p.m. I am at the red pin position, I'll be able to see and live and photograph the supermoon inside the Eiffel Tower in the first floor window, which is pretty cool. Let me zoom here and realign the field of view with the blood pin. Okay, I be able to see this the supermoon inside the first floor window, which is super nice. The moon size will be 80 meters. Natural light is gonna be blue hour, so it's super nice. And I'm gonna use a focal length of 100 millimeters, f8, and yeah, cool. I think it's an amazing plan. So if any of you guys is gonna go there and take this shot, please let me know in the comments, because I would love to see this shot. And now you used to learn more on how to photograph the supermoon and the moon. I invite you to download our super detailed moon photography guide, and I'll leave a link to the guide in the description of this video and in the first comment below. Download it. And as always, if you like this video, give me a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next Wednesday in another video. And remember that you have the power to imagine, plan and shoot legendary photos by PhotoPills.